Welcome everybody here once again in another session. And yes, once again, we are going to have another mock test with fresh new questions. And yes, the RC is going to be special for you today. Let's start the session now. Before I start, let me mention once again, welcome all of you from my side heartily, that the new interface is live at Oliveboard. You are requested to check it out before you appear in your final examinations. Intelligence matters, but apart from that, presence of mind also matters. Yes, in between, I must say, one can use the code BAPPA, Ganapati Bappa Moria, on Ganesh Chaturthi. The offer ends today, 28th of August, to grab flat 56% on SSC subscriptions, railway subscriptions, or the combo ones, be it a course, batch, mock test, or the super elite, in which one can get access to all the courses, batches, mock tests, everything at once. The new interface is live at Oliveboard. Take your first test for free. And this is something I wanted to highlight. You have this zoom in, zoom out feature. Now the questions are marked here, and these controls are up above instead of being down and such. So please get accustomed to this new interface. Okay, let's start our test. Okay, let's go. So what's in store for us? We will discuss the new pattern-based questions, the adequacy pattern, with all these things including phrases and clauses, and a pretty good RC today. Let's go. Welcome all of you here. Rohit, God bless you. Khushay bhai. Priya, Manish, Nitesh, Rinkal, Anikesh, Gunjan, Shivani, Radhe Radhe. Bubbly, Muskan, Mohini, Renu, Nancy, Jai Janendra, Esther, Hare Krishna. Avijit, good evening, brother. Manish, thank you. Radhe Radhe, Chivalrous, Banke Bihari, Radhe Radhe. And Shankar, love your humor, brother. Good evening, Sakshi. No, no, no. Which is for the whole clause or the whole sentence, not for a word. I hope you remember which is the only relative pronoun in English which can be used for a whole sentence, not just words. So the meeting was postponed because of this, which disappointed many attendees eager for a resolution because the meeting got postponed. So it disappointed many people out there. That's a good one. That's a good one. A Yorker from Boomerang to start with. When people have experience, they practice a lot, they grab it. They are not teachers that they can mark you exact correction, but they at least grab it. You are correct. Problem is here, chairman being unwell. If we consider chairman as noun and being as participle, then it will be weird and awkward and owing to the chairman who was being unwell. He was being unwell. Unwell is a state, not a progress. I'm being unwell. Yes, yes. Now 40%, 60%, 20%. Not possible. So participles are not possible here. The other possibility is, everyone, if you have gone through gerunds in English, in one line I can mark the conclusion. We'll explain again. Being is noun here, gerund. Chairman is noun here. Two nouns cannot come together. Say the chairman's being unwell. In Hindi, I would say just one line. Chairman के बीमार होने पर, chairman के बीमार होने पर. Just like I like Sehwag's batting, Sachin's batting, Bumrah's bowling, Yuvraj's fielding. Excuse my interrupting you. and such. He won't object to my joining and such. So that was the problem. Welcome Arvind and Vikramjit. Hello, good evening. Okay, so the chairman's being unwell. The chairman is unwell that way. Gerunds take possessive adjectives before them. Done. That's infinitive, Shankar. I'm eager to meet you. आपसे मिलने का इंतजार है. I'm eager to meet you. That's infinitive, not the preposition. 2 plus V1. That's a preposition. Okay, select the correct sentence. The proposal was rejected because of it lacking sufficient evidence. Kind of weird structure. Because of it lacking. I would say this is the same. Because of lacking sufficient evidence. Lacking will be a noun, the object of the preposition. Prepositions take gerunds after them. And before gerunds, we use possessive adjectives because of its lacking evidence. The first one is wrong. She left the job on account of, due to, because of, owing to the hostile environment at the workplace is correct. You can put your words. He objected to the plan due to, which is a preposition. You can see the preposition. It was poorly executed. That's a complete sentence. And sentences are not joined with the help of prepositions. They are joined with the help of conjunctions. So not due to it was, because it was poorly executed. And he resigns on grounds. Which are the grounds he resigned on? That his ideas were ignored consistently. These are the grounds, not because his ideas. Either say he resigned. Why? Because his ideas were ignored consistently. But you have to define those grounds. He resigned on these grounds. Which grounds? That these reasons. What are the reasons? That his ideas, defining those reasons. Okay. Objections welcome. Thank you. Seems like we are in a bank class. Thank you. There'll be mixed variations. Some will be easy, some may be difficult. Debashish, yes, exactly. Null and void, zero. Null and void is a term used in coding, C, C++, and many. Null and void, zero. Nancy. Exactly. Incorrect sentence. Okay, that means those three must be correct. It was criticized for being more sensational than informative. Her remarks, though blunt, were taken in good spirit. Can see the contrast. Words were blunt, but they were taken in good spirit. Okay. The evidence presented was too small to prove the allegation. Yes, too is used in a negative sense. The contract was made zero for the reason, okay, because both of these define the same stuff. The reason because superfluous, for the reason it lacked this, and because it lacked this. So that's the incorrect one. Okay, to throw one's hat into the ring. You might have seen WWE probably, and there you see some are fighting and John Cena comes up. You can't see me. Kane, The Rock, or anyone comes up, and their entry is not marked they are coming from that point. Their entry is marked when they enter the ring. So just like we throw our hat into the ring, that means we are also the part of competition. I am also going to compete. I take the challenge and such. Throw your hat into the ring, maybe the boxing ring or such. I enter the competition. Lord Undertaker, yes. Goldberg, great. Frustrated after the meeting, he threw his hat into the ring before leaving the room. I can see the ring in the literal sense here, not the idiomatic one. Literally, he threw his hat into the ring because he was frustrated. No, child threw his hat into the ring while playing and everyone applauded. No, 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 that's the literal sense. Referee asked the boxer to throw his hat into the ring. That's the literal sense. We need the idiomatic one. Despite hesitation, no, I'm not willing to, but despite that, she finally decided to enter for the leadership election. Compete. Huh, Avijit, yep. Brock Lesnar. Mhm. Avijit. Welcome, Neha. Welcome. That's a common one, I think you know. No, Manish. Words have subtle differences. Subtle. Um, a storm in a teacup. In a teacup that is so small, if there is a storm, that should be over petty issues. Okay. The heated arguments in the parliament turned out to be a storm in a teacup. You yourself have marked the meaning of the idiom heated arguments over petty issues in parliament and such. Yes, matches the tone. The tea vendor, come on, tea cannot be there in teacup. Idiomatic. She made a storm in a teacup when the kettle actually burst open. No, teacup kettle, no. He created a storm in a teacup by literally stirring it recklessly. That's the real sense, not the idiomatic one. Now, the person who pretends to have higher moral standards than he actually practices is supposed to be a hypocrite. Charlatan, I think you know, is a fraud in one word, not showing higher moral standards than he actually has, is a fraud, straight. Pedant, paying attention to those tiny things and exaggerating his knowledge. Bigot, biased, totally fanatic, opinionated about one particular cause, religion, and anything such. So, hypocrite. Shivani, Priya. Yes. Thank you, Thesaurus, for being here. The last one is visible. Diffuse. It's not visible now. Diffuse. Diffuse. Yes. A speech characterized by bitter, vehement denunciation. Eulogy has you. That means good. Praising speech. And so is this panegyric. It is also to praise. Soliloquy is from solo and loqua, just one person saying that in a play, drama. Let him come in the evening. I'll talk to him like that. How dare he say that to me? Just one person is conversing, actually portraying his ideas or thoughts to the public. So that is soliloquy, solo, loqua. Eulogy, a good praising one. Panegyric, a praising one, but it is bitter, that negativity. So out of elimination, if I do not know this word, tirade, that's the answer. Abstruse, unclear. Unclear, but the antonym. Okay. Obscure, abstruse are synonyms. Recondite is also obscure, something about which only little is known. Not clear. Quite flat synonyms. Cryptic, we do not know pretty much about that. Synonym, clear, the only antonym in the options. And trenchant is actually incisive or sharp. Sharp. Okay. Feeble, weak. Vague, weak. Diffuse, spread out of context. Incisive, sharp, cutting, cunning, trenchant. Radhe Radhe, Kalpana. Shivani. Electricity gone. Why? Amalesh and all of you here. Great answers from your side. Great, to be honest. Exactly. Thank you. She spoke with such conviction, how much, that nobody dared to interrupt her. Great. First of all, it's a whole clause, not a phrase, because you have a sentence, subject, and verb and predicate completely. So that's going to be. So in case I had options like phrase, I would have eliminated. Is that adverb clause of manner? Maybe. Such conviction, the conviction has the result that nobody questioned her. Nobody dared to interrupt her. Obviously, the result of my conviction you can see over there. She's so beautiful, defining it further, that she can easily win this competition. He's so rude that he doesn't even talk to his father, defining the result that he's rude, he doesn't even talk to his father and such. Perfect. Manners are actually carefully, in a careful manner, in a proper order, in a brave manner, in a cowardly manner and such. It's not a noun clause. We have a noun. It's not an adjective clause, not modifying the conviction. adverb clause of result. Okay, whatever he said was taken as the final word of the issue. So you have a verb here, was taken as this or that. What you need is a subject. But that's not a phrase because it has a subject and a verb of its own. So that's going to be a clause. So drop it first. Now, it was taken as the final word. This was taken as the final word. So that has to be the subject of the given statement. Noun clause. Relative clause, it doesn't start with a relative pronoun that way. Appositive, no. Case in apposition. Remember, you can't protect your mate. Mate, Papa, I'm going there. Case in apposition, comma, separated one. Not that one. There is no comma separation out there. Shivani, elegy should be a funeral poem. Eulogy, I don't think so, is a funeral poem, the little I remember right now. That should be praising speech, if I'm not wrong. Sorry if I am. Elegy is a funeral poem. Rohit, perfect. Let's eat. Mom, case in apposition. Saloni, welcome. Thank you for being unanimous. Okay, his words, whose words? A cannot be the first one. So when the verdict was read out, the courtroom fell silent. Okay. Accused, the person, rose slowly, as if carrying some invisible burden. So accused is the human being here across the passage. And for that, or him, I can use his words and I can see that burden. Heavy with regret. So for sure, CA must be together. Done. Another statement left. It was the atmosphere of resignation more than shock that hung in the air. You're talking about some atmosphere. This is also defining some atmosphere. The courtroom fell silent. The atmosphere. So I would say BD must be together and CA must be together. Let's come here. CA together. BD. After his words, heavy with regret, how would I talk about atmosphere, hung in the air, words? And no, I don't think so. That should be the appropriate one. C should be the first one. No. BD, yes. CA. What can be a better choice? Now they are easy because those were difficult. Compensation. No problem. Maybe Shivani. Maybe. I remember elegy is a funeral poem. Maybe. We will check before the end of the session. 13A. Okay, you are saying 14A. Because I didn't even read, but still it clicked. 13 cannot be A. 13B. Okay. The council is drafting a new policy to regulate housing prices. Is drafting, present continuous tense. Okay. The new policy was, nope. Is being drafted, okay. Has, nope. Is drafted, what about ing? I know they are easy, but because we have some questions difficult, so compensating that. Otherwise, the cutoff will be. The final manuscript had been approved by the board after scrutiny. Okay, so the board had approved the final manuscript after scrutiny. Not bad. Had approved, had been approved. Okay. The board approved. What about past perfect? The board has, but that's past perfect. Approves? No. Manish, I love your optimism, brother. Great words again from your side. Honestly. Okay, बांके बिहारी, thank you for your presence. आपके बहाने भगवान का नाम ही 4 बार मुंह से निकलेगा. He said, should you need help? I hope you remember the value of this sentence. Should, everyone, is a conjunction here, not the modal verb. I'm sorry, should you think I did it on purpose? Should you need further help, you can drop us a mail again. So that's a common formal structure. Should is a conjunction here. He said, should you need help, you may contact my assistant. He said that should they need help, they might contact his assistant. Like if you need help, if they need help, okay. But since we have a model here, so models don't take V2. They might contact, okay. He said that if they should, no, that was not the model there. He said if you need help, but if you say, should be in past tense now. If you needed help, and what about may? No. Had they needed help, not the third conditional clause in the inversion tone. There is no third conditional clause had they needed. All correct. She explained that unless they acted swiftly, opportunity would vanish. Would vanish, that means actual statement must have will. So will is okay here. No, would have. Nope. Would. Why? No would here. Should be the first one. Unless you act, unless they acted, will vanish. Done. Thank you. Have a look. Changing slide in seconds. Priya, I was supposed to say the same. The content of the passage is so meaningful and informative. Everyone understands that yes, this is wrong, and such, but everyone remains reluctant to curb whatever conveniences they have. So that's a good passage, pretty good. And I loved one more line, 2 to 3 lines I loved here. This one, honestly. Why should poorer nations, in my opinion, that have just started developing, stop their industrial growth for the planet's sake? I know it is wrong, but the next sentence connected. When the benefits of past pollution are still there and enjoyed by the richer ones, I have just started. Let me do something. They've been doing so for years. Done. Showing questions in seconds. Yes, Manish. Yep, brother. Welcome, Isha. Have a smile. One by one, please. Okay, let's see the paradox. Then you answer. Oh, here. Without checking in the passage, all of us went, you can check. The future confronts us with a paradox. What? To survive, societies must change patterns of consumption, production, yet to govern, yet leaders frequently prefer half measures. Manish, absolutely correct, brother. Without checking the passage, don't answer. So, what's the paradox? Societies must change their consumption and production. Leaders prefer half measures. That's the paradox. I can now click the correct answer. Next. I'll show you first. What about this rebound effect? Where has this been marked? There. Yes. What's the rebound effect? Um, Efficiency, noting that, invites greater consumption, called rebound effect. Efficiency invites consumption. You are already correct. The author's attitude towards technology driven solutions is marked as those who are answering are correct, but let me show you a slide. Technology driven solutions. Manish. Yes, we have the answer here. RC has gone too difficult, but that's the inference based one. See, the author says, from this perspective, true sustainability demands not just new machines, but new mindsets, including a willingness to embrace sufficiency over excess. In short, you can't just innovate your way out of overconsumption. Author praises potential but warns of over reliance, over excess. Now you can eliminate. Hello? What has happened? I can see the live count has gone. Nope. See, you answer this slide also, I'll explain. However, I honestly made, because there was a bit long passage, so I made 10 questions out of. You can answer as many as you want. Bake Bihari ji. I answered the fourth one already. I already answered the fourth one, stating one of the best lines I have personally heard. Why should poorer nations stop their growth for the planet's sake when the benefits of past pollution are still enjoyed by the richer ones? And that's the analogy between wealthy and developing nations there. No, fourth A, Rohit, brother. Wealthy nations want to share their resources generously with the poorer countries. Where has this been mentioned? That they want to share their resources with the poorer country or countries? But yes, poor nations, why they should stop their growth when the past pollution is there, enjoyed by the richer ones? Past pollution, authority, chivalrous. It says lack of awareness. The passage doesn't specify lack of awareness. Don't say mistake, no problem. Why does the author mention cosmetic measures like banning plastic straws? Did he mention? Yes, he did say something about plastic straws. Why? Just grab the options and eliminate. Let's check this banning plastic straws. Rohit, the answer to your fourth A. Wealthy nations, long beneficiaries of carbon intensive industrialization, they are the beneficiaries, they've been taking the benefit. Now, press the developing economies to adopt green technology. They don't support or share, they press. You know the meaning of press. Where was that plastic ban mentioned? I'm sorry. Yes, it is here, plastic straws. Fifth is not B. I crossed already. Okay, we have the passage, obviously. Why does the author mention like cosmetic measures like banning the plastic straws? Did he say that such steps, banning plastic straws, most effective way of tackling climate change? Did he say that? That such steps are the most effective ways of uh, combating offsetting that climate change. Oh my God. Life count 10. People leave as if their leaving will help them get selected. Great, nothing new. I know. Priya, you are saying fifth C. To show that citizens prefer symbolic reforms over drastic changes. He didn't say citizens prefer this or that, but he said governments aware of backlash substitute such gestures, banning this, planting this. Priya, and everyone. In place of proper changes like this or that. So governments do this in place of that. Esther, governments substitute symbolic gestures, banning straws, in place of systemic change. Can I say? Yes. Okay, last, before all of you leave and the live count goes zero, which of the following best captures the overarching theme of the passage? Manish, camera went off. Abhijit. Priya, I know you can. Yes, you are correct. Okay, finishing things now, no problem. Those who want to, they can take a screenshot and solve these questions. I will mark you with the answers. Let's see. So there was a passage. I exactly don't remember now. Let's eliminate. The central paradox marked in the passage, I can see the paradox here. To survive, they must change the patterns of consumption production. To govern, leaders prefer half measures. Societies must change their patterns. That's the paradox. Societies must change the consumption patterns, yet leaders rarely pursue strong changes. What's the rebound effect? Rebound effect is actually, for example, fuel efficient vehicles, rather than reducing emissions, sometimes encourage longer commutes. If you get a car for free with no fuel consumption, you will roam 24/7. That also creates problem for the environment, not just the emissions and all. More frequent travel. From this perspective, true sustainability demands not only of new machines but also mindset, willingness to support sufficiency over excess consumption. Gains in efficiency, okay, you saved your petrol money and such, are often balanced by the increased consumption. Frequent travel. Author's attitude towards technology-driven solutions is marked as, I did answer that. Author's attitude toward technological-driven is marked as, where was the answer? No, that was the rebound effect. Just a sec. Technology-driven solutions, unquestioned optimism. He is not optimistic totally. Respecting, optimism and respecting will be the same. Strong rejection, no. He was being balanced or tried being balanced. Cautious, I did see that and did show you that also, but not able to see that right now. Probably that's the same, I can say. You shouldn't rely on this over access. You should change your mindset also. You must be cautious, I would say that. He's not truly optimistic. He's not truly celebratory. He's not truly opposing the fact, but he's being cautious. So yes, cautious acknowledgement. Acknowledging, but in a cautious manner. The analogy between the wealthy countries and them. Rich countries, decades of pollution, years of such make their current moral authority questionable. Why? That's the question. Should poorer nations stop their growth for the planet's sake when the benefits of past pollution still enjoyed by the richer ones? So that's out there. Why does the author mention cosmetic measures? You have got this. Banning this and that. So government often substitute symbolic gestures. Like, we have done something. Is that effective or not? No, no, no. We have done. I don't know that's effective or not. So government substitute just some measures. They have done. That's their job done. Banning this or that in place of systemic changes. They don't bring systemic changes. They just do symbolic gestures. So to suggest that symbolic steps disguise government's reluctance to have real reforms, and which best captures the overarching theme of the passage, the struggle to reconcile prosperity, justice, sustainability in redefining growth. I think I made this question not with a single line, but capturing the whole tone of the passage. Like the struggle, the prosperity, the justice, the sustainability, the theme of the whole passage, the inevitability of climate catastrophe despite global efforts. He didn't say that. He's saying willingness to change. That's not inevitable. If we change, we can bring changes. The imminent end of fossil fuel industries due to breakthroughs. He didn't mention the end of fossil fuel industries. The growing popularity of solar and wind energy worldwide. Do you think it best captures the theme of the passage? Solar and wind energy. Are we discussing solar and wind energy across the passage? We are not. Drop it. Now, the struggle to reconcile prosperity that we used to have. He started with past. In the twilight of the age, cities were measured by this and that. Today, we have this and that. He said, redefine prosperity. And that question remains unresolved. Defining prosperity again. So the struggle to define prosperity, justice, sustainability in growth. Okay. Finishing things now. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. See you pretty soon. Thank you. You can download the PDF of the session also. Stay connected. We'll work hard together. Not by leaving the class, but by staying here and working harder. Thank you so much. See you. Manish, thank you so much for being here. Jai Jagannath, brother. Nitesh, Bake Bihari, thank you so much. Love and respect from Morena. Yes, brother. Esther, Priya, Wrinkle, Gunjan, Saloni, Rohit. Thankful to you. The only line I can say, can feel your words. Thank you. Chivalrous. Avijit, no words will be enough to thank you. Muskan, perfect beta. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe. Manisha, bubbly, always on time. Renu, thank you so much. Manish, Shivani, and all of you here. Okay. See you pretty soon. Neha, thank you. In the next session. Thank you. Okay, sister. Oh. Sorry. Love and respect from my side, sister.